It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the boys and the silver and black. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
A clash of two of the more fervent fan bases around. The Cowboys and the Raiders are underway. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They go again with Blue. Nifty move. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Here's Prescott. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. Looking to throw, Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far, running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Out of the gun, they run with Blue. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run. This is Blue. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And led out by their veteran quarterback. He's been around a while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just cut him up, see how many rings he's got around the middle. He has been in the league a long time.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Off of play action, here's Smith. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 39. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Geno now to throw.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Smith. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Throwing now is Geno. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
They begin with a carry for Blue. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 34. They were probably just looking for a couple yards of breathing room, snapping the ball at their own 2. Well, they got a lot of breathing room.
And even knowing that offenses are as aggressive as they are now in the NFL, you still expect them to run the football in that situation. Why weren't they ready? Instead, it turns into a monster gain and gets them way from the shadow of their own end zone.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The first carry now. This is Williams. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Here's Prescott. He finds Pickens over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On first down, it's Blue. Fights off the defender. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. Prescott to throw it. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15.
Prescott now.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That pass knocked away by Eric Stokes.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal.
And his kick is good.
And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And able to get this out to the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Smith now to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not too many teams will use a 1st-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Brock Bowers.
46 yards.
And the Raiders are an extra point away from taking the lead.
So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
following the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? He finds his man complete. It's Ferguson. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Throwing. Prescott. He hits blue.
He's across midfield.
And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll throw again. Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Now Prescott.
That's going to be caught by Pickens.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And this one is right through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final shot here before break. Smith. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Smith. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force the incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 66 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with the draw play.
They certainly did. Caught him a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. They go with blue between the tackles.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Now Prescott.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Prescott.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a second and 10.
Up the middle, it's Williams. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't.
And he works free, finding space at the 40. He's still on his feet.
And down to the 29-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Here's Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Smith. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson.
Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Cowboys offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he's got some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
Well, it's kind of fitting. A couple days ago when we met with him, I said, what is it about your running game that's so effective? He said, I like to tag myself as elusive. He was pretty elusive right there.
And his teammates appreciate that because they know they don't have to hold their blocks for very long. As one of them told us, if I just breathe some bad breath on the guy in front of me, that's all I need to do, and he's gone.
Jeremy Chin there defensively.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
A third quarter now, a one-point game as they line up 2nd and 10.
Here's Prescott.
Completes this one to Pickens. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Prescott.
Able to hit his target, Lamb.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Back to throw now on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now a shotgun handoff, Blue. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on second and goal here.
Left side to Lamb.
A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. They hand it off. It's Blue. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Cowboys have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
All right, so the Cowboys will go for 2 here. They'll try and run it with Blue. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Geno now to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now Geno. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Throwing now is Geno. Buying time to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Back to throw, Smith. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Tucker. And he will be out of bounds with a first down as they will have a 1st and goal on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Here's a give up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
2nd down, goal to go. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. Smith to throw.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line. One thing that makes him so tough in these 2-minute drills, you got to take into consideration he's mobile.
And that's a big plus for him, but he also has to be careful with that mobility. Sometimes getting rid of the ball and stopping the clock is more important than running around and maybe taking a sack.
Here it is, 4th and inches.
They snap it to Smith. It's complete, swings it out to his running back. And he is not going to be able to get away as they swarm him for a loss shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On to give, this is Blue. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Here's 3rd and a few inches. Trying to take this home, they'll run. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down, and that should be that.
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.